Thank you. Thanks. Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Okay, all right. We're recording, we're good? All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees for January 27th, 2026. Can I get a motion to open the meeting? Trustee Patino, second trustee Rothrock, all in favor? At 7-0. We have trustee Asuma is reporting to us from her home for extenuating circumstances, but I think it was listed, right, Liz? Yes, okay, so.
This is listed.
All right, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before you sit, I'd like to take a moment of silence to reflect on the tragedies in Minneapolis. Thank you. I personally find this ever escalating aggression is not right. It's reckless and it's unacceptable. And I will be working with the rest of the board and our police department in the coming days to reiterate our dedication to the ongoing safety of our community. So the first thing we're going to do is our presentation for Chief for the Day. So please join us. We have Officer Stephen Betts.
All right. Can you guys hear me? I don't think I really need this, but not too big of a crowd. All right. So thank you guys all for coming out. I know the weather is not the best because tonight we are doing our annual Chief of the Day. And so we have Thea here. And so basically the Dobbs Ferry Police Department, we collaborate with the Dobbs Ferry School Foundation. And they're a charitable organization. So in 2025, the Dobbs Ferry Police Department partnered with the DFSF to auction off another Chief of the Day opportunity. This charity fundraiser provides Dobbs Ferry Springhurst Elementary School students the unique opportunity to be a police chief for a day with the Dobbs Ferry Police Department. And so students in grades 1st through 5th are eligible to enter and fulfill their dreams of becoming a police officer, giving them a behind the scenes look into law enforcement. And I just wrote a little blurb here about our winner, Thea. So Thea is a bright and enthusiastic 10-year-old 5th grader at Springhurst. She loves feeling useful and being part of something meaningful. She's passionate about arts and crafts, enjoys math, plays guitar, and especially treasures spending time with her older brother, Micah. Right now, she's incredibly excited to be chief for a day. So Thea, if you would come on up, and the Chief Manuel Rivera and Mayor Christine L., we will present you with your Chief for the Day badge. Should we stand over here? Yeah, let's go around front here.
This is great.
All right.
Don't draw blood.
Oh.
Thank you for coming. Oh, you're shaking. Thank you for coming. Nice to meet
I'm
you.
looking forward to turning over the department to you for the day.
Wow.
Nice work. So thank you.
I'm looking forward to you being my boss.
The safety of Dobbs is in the hands.
Thank you.
Should we make them stay or?
Yeah, you don't, that's the end of the presentation. You're welcome to stay for the full meeting. It's riveting. Or you can, what's next is the Climate Smart Communities Annual Progress Report.
This part will actually be interesting.
It will, but,
Or you could.
or you
home
can go
and finish
to
your
Go
homework.
Greenly or whatever.
I got it.
Hi, guys. Thanks for coming.
I'm intrigued, might come out of the snow.
That is so cute. Oh my gosh.
All right, you guys are up.
So when is he the chief tomorrow?
Yeah, they have to, they'll schedule their
Yeah.
appointment for when she's actually chief. I think we'll all find out.
It's
By
true,
the
this is not gonna
lawless.
be,
That ensues.
this is not gonna be as much fun, I know.
I think the
Yeah, I
audience
think
is
it's
all
really
online.
fun.
They're all watching at home, bated breath.
Yes.
Um,
Oh, no.
oh,
Culver?
you don't have to see me. Okay. Like that? That work? Okay. Hi.
Hi, Janet. Please state your name and where you're coming from for us.
Janet Rozef from home. I am the Climate Smart Communities Coordinator for the Climate Smart Communities Task Force of Sustainable Jobs. And Carol Pollock is part of the task force, and Matthew Jorsey could not make it tonight, but he is another member. So we're just, our annual report is due. You all read it and approve it and post it, and it's, I was just going to explain how it's organized because
That's
it's a
great.
little confusing. When you read the report, it's organized according to the CSE framework of pledge elements, which means sometimes you'll read things and it'll be repeated later on, but it's easier for us because when we go for certification, it's just easier to have it organized that way according to the CSE program action items. We had a really busy year this year, so
Yeah.
I'm going to just throw out some highlights that are some of the actions that we saw. We have, we saw the DPW solar energy rooftop array get installed, and it's active now. It has 250 kilowatt capacity, which is 5 times the capacity that it had previously. It generates energy that will be applied to other municipal meters, which means that Village Hall will now be considered a net zero carbon building, which is exciting. And the project will also guarantee savings to the village of $45,000, which we hope will be earmarked for other sustainable initiatives. That's the idea. Another highlight, the comprehensive plan, which is being expertly run by the village's planning consultant, Valerie Monastra, and it's been going on smoothly for the whole year, and it continues into this year. And she's been great at involving key stakeholders throughout the community and giving the public multiple opportunities to have their input. So we should be seeing completion of that sometime in 2026. The New York Forward Grant for $4.5 million, which is also really exciting and will help to invigorate, as I say, invigorate and enliven the downtown. So that's another CSE opportunity for us, and projects will be awarded, as you all know, sometime in spring. Another big one is the full ban on the gas-powered leaf blowers this year, which is really exciting. We are only one of 5 other Westchester communities who have banned gas leaf blowers, and others are coming up, but I feel like we're really ahead of the curve here. The county actually is looking to ban all gas-powered leaf blowers over this summer, so they're working toward doing that. So they're moving as well, but we got there first. And then there are grants this year, some of which I'll just list some of them for whoever's watching out there. 675,000 for Lower Memorial Park improvements, $150,000 grant for a senior van, a new senior van, $21,000 to improve the DPW food scrap collection site, and the NYSERDA grant for the Project Mover, the bike share program that is going to continue through 2026. So if I've forgotten anything or gotten anything wrong, you are feel free to contact us. And Matt, you already picked up something that we had gotten wrong. So we will change, that's already been changed, and we will change anything, and then a correct will be put onto the website. So the other thing that I just wanted to point out was that the CSC program asks us to to kind of talk about challenges for the year and goals. So I'm only going to talk about 4 challenges and goals here, and then I'll stop. The first one is energy benchmarking. It's tracking of energy use. We are supposed to be doing that annually with a report that should be posted on our village website, but this hasn't happened since 2020. So that's been a challenge for us for years now. We've been trying to figure out how to get that done. That was the challenge. The goal for us in 2026 is to vet some consultants around this benchmarking and see if we could use them. The other option that we're pursuing is that we're going to be talking to Hudson Valley Regional Council to see if it's possible for us as a task force to actually work on conducting these in-house reports. And we'll see how that goes, but we'll be coming back to you in the next few months to let you know where we are with that. Another challenge is the municipal recycling rate. It is, it's not great in Dobbs Ferry. The county recycling rate is 50%. Dobbs Ferry had been lower, much lower. In 2023, we reorganized some things and we got it to be 59%, but in 2024, we just got the numbers and we fell to 49%. So we're below the county average. I don't think that's where we should be. We are going to be, well, the other thing about that, besides that it's the right thing to do is to recycle and keep things out of the incinerator, is that it will save the village money, because we know that carting trash to Peekskill is based on weight, and the fees are much higher than hauling food scraps, which is a monthly flat fee, or carting the recycling, which is free for the village. So we really need to do better on this. So that's going to be one of our goals. Again, this year, it's been a consistent goal for the past couple of years. We're going to try to really double down on food scraps and try to get the community to be more aware of collecting food scraps. And we have a campaign called Scrappy Bits, which is going to go kind of a monthly thing. It's going to kind of talk about different misconceptions and maybe easy tips for collecting food scraps. So we'll see how that goes. It's a continuing effort. Another challenge is messaging and information sharing. We find that very difficult as a committee to keep our website up to date and to get the word out through newsletters and social media and all that. But I know the village has, under your leadership, Mayor Nell, this year has recently outlined 3 overarching goals. And one of them is the modern tools for effective operations. And that, we hope, will tackle this issue by improving communications and consolidating website information. And we're actually very excited to work on that with you. So that's great. And the last one I'm going to talk about is knowledge management. So it always comes up when we try to do these annual reports, but without a comprehensive database of past and current sustainability activities, which would be encompassing all of the boards, all the committees, staff, whatever. It's very difficult to monitor actions and envision, guide, or track the village's sustainability initiatives going forward. So it feels like there's a lot of information out there, and it's very hard to compile it, to really know what's going on. Anyway, one of the goals, we hope, again, this year, we're going to come to you again to ask for you to consider hiring a part-time sustainability consultant, who might work with all the village entities and help to rein in kind of what's going on in the village and really work to help us move forward and track and be a leader in reducing our environmental impact as we feel like we should be. Anyway, so it's a very long report. Please read it if you can and let me know if there's anything we left out. And that's it.
Thank you guys so much for putting the whole thing together. It's very thorough. And I mean, that part was my big takeaway, was your conclusions and the challenges and what we can try and do this year to be better, because there's just, it seems like a lot of things that we could be doing, but to have the high level, most strategic things is very helpful. So I think we can take all of that into budget season and figure out how we can incorporate these ideas.
That's great.
So, and it's great that they have this process in place for the climate smart communities, because it forces us to do it.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
you guys are thankfully volunteering to do it. So thank you guys so much for everything.
And being leaders in this state has allowed us to get an enormous amount of grant money. It just opens up so much return for us that it's more than just like a nice to have. It's
Yep.
something that allows us to have the building blocks to continue to get better through funds that don't come from our taxpayers.
Right. Anybody have any questions? No? All right. So we can take a motion to endorse the efforts of the Dobbs Ferry Climate Smart Communities Committee as set forth in the annual progress report. Do I have a motion? First, Trustee Rosenberg, second, Deputy Mayor Galen, all in favor? That's 7-0. Thank you guys so much.
And I'll give the new report, the updated report to Liz.
Liz, yes.
Post- Okay.
Liz keeps it all.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And that needs for the program, that needs to be posted on our website, Janet? That the report needs to be posted on the Dobbs website.
Yes. Liz will have that. Okay, moving along. We have some appointments. I'd like to consider a resolution to appoint Jackson Kearns and Andrew Zendel as junior firefighters for the Dobbs Ferry Fire Department. 2 more. Do I have a first? Trustee Gupta, second trustee Asuma, all in favor? Unanimous. Thank you, guys. And thank you to all the recruiters out there who are getting so many firefighters. It's amazing. I am going to appoint Kendra Garrison as a staff liaison to the Conservation Advisory Board. That's just up for me to do. Kendra is in charge of Parks and Rec, and so it makes sense to have her involved in the discussions with the Conservation Advisory Board, especially as they do work with volunteers that are around tree planting and work in the parks. So we thought it best that she is involved in those discussions because she can then know what's going on. I'm also appointing Ruby Iliopoulos. That is not how you say it. Iliopoulos. Christine Cavamanyan. I practiced it like 25 times at home. Cavayomanyo. And Randy Klipstein to the Ad hoc Public Art Committee. Thank you to Jess for helping to recruit them with Jennifer Andrews, who is our chair. And I'd like to consider a resolution to appoint Frank Vizard as a member of the Dobbs Ferry Public Library Board for a term to expire in December 2026, as recommended by the nominating committee. First, Laura Rothrock, trustee Laura Rothrock. Second, trustee Patino. All in favor? It's unanimous. Oath of office, Liz, how does that work if they're not here? Do we still have to have them come in to do it?
Yes, I'll either go down to the library or they could come up anytime.
Okay.
I'll make arrangements with them.
Okay. Same with resolution to appoint David Weber as a member of the Dobbs Ferry Public Library Board for a term to expire in December 2027, as recommended by the nominating committee. First Deputy Mayor Galen, second trustee Asuma. All in favor? Unanimous. All right. We are going to reopen the public hearing regarding the cable franchise renewal agreement between the Village of Dobbs Ferry and Verizon New York. We have to make a motion to reopen it, or we just reopen it?
You took a motion to adjourn it to a date certain, so you don't need to have a motion to reopen
Okay.
since it's still open.
All right. Is there anybody here to speak to this public hearing once more online?
Sure, so.
Oh. I was asking online, but then
Oh,
yes.
online, I'm sorry.
Any public comment, and then we can discuss.
Online first.
Well, there's no one in the
Right,
public.
right,
So, and there's no one online. All right, go for it. Go for it.
All right, only to say, because we've put this over a lot of times. Initially, I had suggested that we had some leverage with Verizon to help with cell service. They've actually been working with us to develop a plan for that. We also wanted them to take care of double poles and dead wires, and we have made contact with them. We've had this over and over. We have spent so many PDF pages at meetings, just carrying this long document over from agenda to agenda. I think it's time for the madness to stop. We're having the conversations that need to be had with this, whether we get the double poll thing or not. I've sent to Lori Lee some research that I did that can help us go towards developing our own law around double polls. So one way or another, we're gonna hopefully take care of that. And I think it's time to put this to bed. As Lori Lee said, we're the only member of this consortium that has been dragging our feet on this. We had good reason to do so, but I don't think we have those reasons enough to put this over again and again, and maybe one more time after that. So I suggest that we vote on this tonight.
All right, fine. All right, so is that a first? Is that a motion?
That's a motion.
That's a motion
No, you have
to,
close the public hearing.
okay, can I get a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make that
All right,
motion.
trustee Rosenberg, second, trustee Gupta, all in favor? All right, consider it closed, 7-0. So
Can I
then.
ask a question?
Oh,
Is there,
not now.
sorry,
Close it.
the downtown committee actually came, was asking about the update about the Verizon service in the downtown. And I did say that, we were
It's
speaking to
it's
them.
unrelated to the franchise.
It's
agreement,
unrelated,
yes.
but I was wondering because you mentioned that there's a plan in place, so.
Yes,
Well, there's some proposals.
There's
I
a
mean,
proposal.
They are working with us to try and resolve it. And so
Okay.
they have, and I've told them this too, there's we're trying to get a tower on a
Rooftop
building.
antenna.
Which is not our property. So it's us just trying to get them to communicate, which they've been doing. And I think the conversations picked back up. So that's number one hope. Number two is a different building that it hopefully could go on. And number three, they have these, what are they
Like
called?
suitcase antenna,
they're
suitcase.
not
size.
what you were thinking, Lori Lee. They are small cell sites that are mounted to poles. There's nothing that hits the sidewalk. That they will, if we can't resolve the building rooftops in a certain amount of time, they're going to put a number of these small sites around the downtown. So while it will not cover as much of the village as we want, at least in the downtown, there will be service from those sites. There's not a time frame.
Yeah, that was really my
Yeah.
question was,
Yeah,
I was.
but I think this is something we're trying
Yeah.
to resolve this year.
Okay,
Yes, that's.
But we are
that-
making progress.
Yeah.
okay.
The conversations I like, there's an active email chain with the administrator, the mayor, myself, and about 4,000 people from
Yeah.
from
Verizon.
Verizon
Yeah.
Wireless.
Okay.
And Margaret has been meeting with them as well. I
Yeah.
mean, involved with meeting them as
Yeah.
well. And the question on the polls, which I can clarify for you, is that's the telecommunications arm. There are three arms in Verizon. There's the cellular, the cable, and the telecom, which is, as Matt likes to put it, the old copper wires. So there are three entities here, and our representative at FiOS, the cable arm, is sent on the inventory of the double poles and also used his influence to connect you with your representative for the cellular coverage as well.
So I would like to thank Matt for pushing it because we have gotten more contact with them because of it. And so we thank them for talking to us more.
Thank you, trustee Rosenberg.
Thank you, trustee Rosenberg. Is there a resolution to authorize the execution of a cable franchise agreement between the Village and Verizon New York, Inc.? First, trustee Rosenberg. Second, trustee Rothrock. All in favor? 7-0.
Thank you.
Courtesy, thank you,
I will
Lori
let-
Lee,
I
for
will
all
let
of your
Miss-
work with that too.
I will let Mr. Train know.
McCarthy Finger can close this file finally.
Maybe.
Well,
No.
McCarthy Finger actually represents the consortium, so now I'm moving on to the Altis for 4 of your fellow communities, because you of course already have yours in place.
Great.
So
It's
they're the
ne-
foot draggers.
It's
there.
yes, it's a gift that keeps on giving.
Courtesy of the floor. Anyone? I mean, what the heck? Snow. Snow? What's the excuse all the other meeting? Anyone online? Where's Patty? Hey,
Don't say, you say it 3 times.
Patty, Patty, Patty. All right. So on to the resolutions. Is there a resolution based on our workshop where we discussed the EV charging stations? If you want to have a further discussion on it, Laura, we can.
No, it's
Okay.
okay.
Is there a
I trust you.
resolution to authorize a modification to the approved location of electric vehicle charging stations at the waterfront parking lot? First, Deputy Mayor Galen, second, Trustee Rosenberg, all in favor? 7. Is there a resolution authorizing the village administrator to execute a memorandum of agreement between the Village of Dobbs Ferry and the Dobbs Ferry School District in regard to video camera access? We can discuss after we open it. Is there a motion? First, Deputy Mayor Galen, second, Trustee Gupta. We'll discuss real fast. Chief is here. Do you know, like, can you speak to this? I believe this is about just exchanging information between us and the school district so that we both don't have to have duplicative.
That is
Uh,
correct. It's just a
okay.
standard
And
agreement.
it's all the same people paying.
Correct.
for
Just
both.
in light of, critical incidents, use of the access potentially. That's it.
Right, okay,
I
yeah,
have a few questions,
go for it.
if you don't mind. So what is the purpose of sharing video between the school and the police department?
Ultimately, the main eye is in light of if there was a critical incident, potentially, we needed access with permission from the school. So we have an idea of what is going on as patrol officers are getting on scene. It's in light of various active shooter issues across the country. It's just enables us to have that ability to get some eyes on, but it's not something that we're just accessing at any given opportunity. It's going to be tightly controlled, and it's just basically an agreement between the village and the school district itself.
So there's an emergency criteria that has to be met, and
Everything is controlled by the school, so.
so did you define what that emergency is with the school and
Not
how do you?
specifically at this time. They have a lot of other rules in place between the education law that is really going to govern, our access, but it just enables us to, if we are dealing with a crime and we need to access, we can contact the school, and so that both parties are covered, that there is a resolution in place, so that that video, whatever they sent us, if we're working on a criminal investigation, kind of makes everything kind of laid out between.
For a
But
lawful
how,
purpose consistent with education law and the district's safety plan.
yeah, no, I read that. I'm just, my question is really like, if there's something that happens, let's say, you know, um, uh, an incident at the school, right? Some high school kids get in a fight. And the police are called, is that video already shared with you?
No, it's not.
It's not. And is there a method other than this information data gathering software that, it's like, just, there's a certain, those things are problematic in many ways, right? How they store data, who gets access to them in the future. So is there a way to share that information without funneling it through a software like the one proposed here?
It would just take a lot longer. So we'd have to get a subpoena, it would be well after the fact. So currently, if we're involved in investigation, the detectives would contact their point of contact or counterparts with the school district. We would make our requests. We'd have to get our subpoenas for that information to be released. But specifically in regards to this, and definitely in light of, say, like the incident up at Brown University, where there's some questions about access in that emergency situation, this potentially for us would make it easier to at least get eyes on. Ultimately, that's really the worst case scenario, but that's what I would prefer to prepare for. Never need.
How many, are there other like PDs that do this with their school
Not, no.
districts?
My intentions are to reach out to the other education facilities within the village to see if they're interested in doing the same thing. At the very least, I can ask the question. If they choose to, deny us, that's fine too. We would just continue with our usual methods where we would just make a request if we're investigating a crime, and then we would just get the subpoenas necessary so we can acquire that video footage if it exists.
So the last thing I just want to, this is not a question, it's just a thought I had about the one use case scenario for this that's obvious, we don't have to talk about that, but that use case would indicate that the most important thing for the police department and the school would be knowledge of the building and training at the building, not necessarily camera access, right? Because if I'm looking at a screen and I'm downstairs and I'm directing someone at the school, if that person isn't intimately familiar with the hallways and the classrooms and the numbering system, it's a moot point.
Correct.
You're not gonna be able to communicate anything valuable. So I would just say that if that is the intention, ultimately, which I think is the only real problem this solves for, that some agreement should be worked out with the officers to train at the school, visit the school,
We do
understand the
other outside exercises. We do partner with the school district during their lockdown drills. So the officers do get into the school district so that they have a familiarity for those officers who did not grow up in Dobbs Ferry or did not attend the schools. And that is also, it is part of the field training when the officers first get here. We do make that as part so that they get into all the schools that we have, so they get a good understanding of where things are located. So it is part of the onboarding process as well as throughout officers' careers that I would like to do additional training for sure going forward that, could get us into those buildings as well. But that's for a different discussion.
So I just wanted to clarify, so the Leo site software that's articulated here is something that we have already, that
Correct.
you have already brought on board to, and can you say in kind of layman's terms what exactly that software does?
That just makes, basically, as that information comes in, it's able to kind of funnel it into a much quicker and more readily identifiable versus us having to go, say, through camera after camera after camera, trying to look for a specific incident. It is able to bring that information into one location, which makes it easier for the officers in the moment potentially, or even after the fact, if we're, if our detectives are working on it. Instead of having to look through every single camera, LeoSite is able to fine tune that information, which makes the officers much more efficient. I mean, that's really the other goal when we are doing our job, to try to make us more efficient. And as the technology continues to improve, that's what you're seeing. So LeoSite is just one of many other types of companies that are performing similar functions. And it's about making the officers more efficient with their time, especially, on the investigative side, which can be extremely tedious, for the patrol officer who takes the call for service, completes the report, and he moves on to the next job. Detectives are consistently and constantly looking at every single case, and where they may only spend 10 or 15 minutes on one case and they're moving on to the next, but then they have to come back to that. We just want to try to give them the best access so that we can bring a case to a successful conclusion, if an arrest is warranted, or, if one is not. We're looking to make it easier for them.
Sorry, I just wanted to, I wanted to follow up. So, LeoSite is a service that you with our authorization have already brought on board. And so.
Correct. Yeah, we're
when-
doing the onboarding process right
Got
now.
it. So this is something that lives kind of at the police department. And what you're asking for is to basically let that thing see through. Is it to funnel the footage from?
As required, correct. So it's not something that we're just opening up and looking.
Yeah.
That is not.
So what it says here is that except in exigent circumstances, requests for footage shall be submitted in writing to the superintendent or designee, shall identify the date, time, location, and legal basis for the request. So.
We would usually do, correct.
So two questions arise for me coming out of that. So in the most horrific potential scenario that we understand is a reason to have this, a more seamless connection between any institution in the village and the police department. The requirement for going through a process to get the footage is not needed
Correct.
with this MOU or MOAU does not require that. So
But for everything else that's not,
like, it seems like I'm not really sure how this is adding, can you just explain to us how this agreement adds something that we don't already have, which is basically
it's
if an
the
emergency went
MOU
down.
that we have, this is what is going to enable the school to make that link electronically, I guess, is to kind of explain it, so that for right now, it'll be linked in through to directly to the PD, where LeoSite, our software, would take, which without having that, we have never used something like this before.
But okay, so the agreement enables us to have the footage linked up to it, not really it doesn't change
No,
how we acquire.
no,
It just makes it so that when we need the video is synthesized and aggregated
Correct.
in a
Ready to be
more
accessed.
useful
that is correct.
format. Okay. That helps.
So it strikes me, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that a lot of this agreement is there to describe the guardrails that are around how this data gets used,
Yeah,
that.
ultimately, the data belongs to the school district. They can certainly restrict stuff that they see fit. And we're just the end user, so we would still ask for permission. They have their rules and regs, and certainly audit trails, so everything would be not just on our side, but it's also covered on their side.
Yeah, I think, I read this as, mostly guardrails around how that data is protected. And I have to trust that on the, data leakage side, that the Leo site people have an ironclad agreement with you guys and with the schools such that they are responsible to make sure that that data is kept safe, that
Correct. And any
not
data
only
that we are
you, but
receiving.
nobody else can, without
Correct.
permission, access video of what's going on in the schools.
That's correct.
Thank you.
So when you entered into the agreement with Leo site and they, I assume, like pitched this idea to you, how did you, other than kind of the, sure, like kind of common sense, or the, it sounds reasonable, but how did you kind of analyze whether this was in the absence of discussing a similar arrangement with other chiefs who have set up similar arrangements with other districts? I'm just curious, were there other inputs into making the decision to proceed with this besides, like, seems like something we should have since we have the technology, or how does?
Yeah, there's other agencies that are using similar platforms through artificial intelligence. So we are seeing that across the board around the country. So for the Village of Dobbs Ferry, what was attractive was that this is one of their first, I guess, forays into New York State. So obviously a financial side was provided as far as making it attractive. If at the conclusion of the contract that the village has, I don't like the software, I feel it hasn't worked out properly, we'll be able to walk away. With that being said, ultimately, the original Nexus was an idea of, as relates to the village's own video security cameras that we have on village property. As a way to, again, it comes down to assisting our detective division when we're investigating, you know, various crimes that are reported to us, as ways to really hopefully speed up the process of the investigatory background. So that was the original of finding something that might work.
So
I'm
if
kind of
the,
curious
if
how this works.
day-to-day, the desired day-to-day impact of having something like this is we put in the request, we get the footage from, certainly from the village-owned cameras, then eventually from the school district cameras and the other institutional cameras, if, should those other entities sign on. What are we putting in place to determine whether it is helping us meet our goals? If our goal with this is to reduce the time burden on the detectives, then how other than kind of getting a gut check with them in a year, what are we, is there something we can put in place, or do you already have something in place to actually measure the time spent and mapping that to the deployment of the software?
So that's a very good question, because one of the most difficult things that we have as a police agency when we're trying to identify what we do, because, you know, that's a great question. You know, public wants to know what is it the police department does. With the patrol division, it is very easy for us to identify how busy an agency is when you start crunching numbers down of when that call comes in and is marked on the telephone, the officer receiving it, to responding out to the scene, to ultimately completing that call. You know, we can take that workload-based assessment, and we can take that, and if it's 2 officers, 3 officers, we just, you calculate that together, and that can start building up an idea of how busy your patrol division is. The detective division is a much more fluid division within the department, because as I mentioned, with the detective, you know, one detective may be working on 10 or 11, 12 different cases, whereas he may come in the morning. He's working on one case by making a phone call, but then puts it down. And like a case this afternoon, my 2 detectives were in Yonkers following up on a stolen vehicle report that we had, going out, getting video data from local establishments down there that linked our suspect, right? That took hours, just one call, hours that they were following up, that my detectives were tied up. But then they're coming back and then maybe working on a third case that came in 2 days ago. So they are a much more difficult division to really crunch numbers. So what I did do, as I returned back to work, I reached out to the Division of Criminal Justice Services. Their special projects unit, they do work-based assessment studies, and I have put the department into a queue. They are backed up, but my plan is to have DCJS as an outside entity do work-based. I have done my own internal work-based assessment in the Village of Dobbs Ferry. We'll discuss in a few weeks as we come into budget, but I do believe your agency is low manpower. But obviously I want to have something else that I can provide. It may take, my understanding is right now DCJS is backed up about a year, but I am looking to bring them in as an outside entity to bolster my position as why, I do believe that the village has grown, not just in population, but in calls for service, which is the big thing. And I'm hoping that they'll be able to I have not found a really good model yet, how to, so you don't really have punch cards that, you could kind of say, I'm logging in on this case report and I'm moving on to the next one. All I can really just say is as our case numbers get bigger, as discovery had changed, which really created extra workload that the detectives have to go through. Every single camera, it's just one of the many things, but we're Dobbs Ferry, we get it done.
Yeah, no, I just hope that, if this is, and this is separate from the MOU, but if the software is making things easier for your detectives, that's wonderful. And if we need to streamline things for your detectives, and like, it would just be good to know if this tool that you're deploying is not getting that done, then
There's
how do we pivot?
An interesting
into
little
something?
side nugget that Leo Site does offer, which is something that is just an extra part, but it can also analyze. So if we are just even to revisit, say, cameras, let's say we made an assumption that we thought a camera at a certain location was very important. It will also analyze data to see like how often, do we need to use that camera? So it can give a breakdown over the course of a year that, our 19-box camera, Broadway, Ashford might be, extremely busy or whatever it might be. But there are some analytics within that might help us potentially see that, we might be, maybe money would be better spent by moving that security camera to a different location. So there are some stuff that we can use on a timeline that, gives us some good feedback that, maybe everything is properly placed. Maybe it's not. Prior to that, I would have no idea because it's giving you a best guess, but.
Well, maybe you can put it back on Leo's site to pitch you on how to understand the either money being saved by reducing detective hours or whatever other metric.
See what we
They are
can
clearly
do.
dealing with this in a lot of other
Yeah, we'll see what we
municipalities,
can do.
so
It's,
seems like they
unfortunately,
should
the reality now
provide that.
is the technology is moving quicker than.
Right. But yeah, I mean, if it's their job to keep you,
That's
on
what I-
board with the services that they're providing, I think, I'm just asking them the question of.
Yeah, it's a good question.
How would they recommend we understand the value that that service is providing would be.
I
very
can ask them, because I am curious, I am looking for some assistance on with the detective division itself. That's a little bit tougher too.
All right, anybody else about the MOA with the school? No? All right, ready for a vote? All in favor? No? All opposed? Okay.
Just want to be
6-1.
clear why I had some reservations about the system back when the earlier camera proposal came to us, and it's this software. So, you know, I just still have those reservations. And so for that reason, just not.
Okay. All right. Number 3, is there a motion to authorize the village administrator to enter into an agreement with Wickers Creek Market for the scheduling of 2026 Wickers Creek Market events at Waterfront Park, waiving certain fees and approving staff costs that are outlined in our backup materials? First, Deputy Mayor Galen, second, Trustee Rosenberg. Any discussion on this? There's dates listed. There's rain dates. We are waiving peddler's permit fees and
In the downtown or for everywhere in the village,
for,
everyone.
For the events listed.
For Rickers Creek only, not for the downtown at the same time.
for,
It's not in the resolution.
I mean, I think that would be a separate resolution. If we're waiving, if this resolution is about a set of events, then everything inside of it should be about that set of events. If we wanted to do something bigger, that should be its own resolution.
we agreed to waive the park rental fees and the peddler's permit fees for said dates.
What was the thinking on why we wanted to waive the fees?
Because we want them to be at the waterfront to activate the waterfront for the residents and to encourage people to visit our downtown. And that is part of that whole connectivity. And then we next have the use of the shuttle bus to try and encourage people to use the waterfront and come up. But it basically attracts more people to our downtown on a Sunday that is normally not our strongest day.
Right.
And we should waive the the sidewalk permit fee, whatever that thing is called.
Yeah.
For the honestly, for the entire village on the Wickers Creek days.
Yeah.
Which would mostly which is something we've done on Wickers Creek days previously, and I'm sorry I missed that it wasn't articulated in here, but the whole point of the shopping shuttle is to bring people from the waterfront to the downtown, and an additional way to get people excited about what's happening in the downtown is to support the downtown folks to activate the sidewalks and other public spaces, and a great way to do that is to have to not add a burden for those businesses that already have storefronts, for example, would still have to go through any other requirements as far as insurances and things, the same as the businesses who are participating in the Wickers Creek. This is something we've
But
done previously.
Sidewalk fees are not in here. It's just peddler's permit, which is
Right.
different. And so if we added it, it would be in the third whereas.
No, this is just covering at Waterfront Park. I know you adopted a calendar at the last meeting. Did that include the dates here for the downtown?
What I'm saying is,
This
I'm
is-
sort of making a note maybe for us,
Oh, yeah.
or Margaret maybe, or for.
We can draft it, yeah.
We need another resolution adding that we're gonna waive, that can be done at the next meeting,
I
but
don't understand why it couldn't be part of this, whereas the village board has expressed its support of these events at Waterfront Park and has agreed to waive the park rental fees and the peddler's permit fees for said dates and sidewalk cafe fees on these
it's not,
dates.
what is it called? Not
And
the
the-
sidewalk cafe, like I think it's a one day, what's the thing called?
Sidewalk sales.
Sidewalk sales. One day sidewalk sales. Can we just add and one day sidewalk sales to that whereas?
The third whereas. Or
Third.
whereas the village board has expressed its support of these events at Waterfront Park.
We waived the parking at the last meeting. We didn't include the sidewalk sales.
We're talking about the downtown, sidewalk sales for the
Right.
downtown. We did not discuss that at the last meeting, and I didn't think to make sure that it was.
That wasn't
included here.
on the calendar that we,
That's correct, and I'm asking if we can add it, and if we can add it, we can discuss whether people would have an issue with that. But if we can add it, then we should vote on it tonight so we can be done with it. If people agree, but.
Yes. I didn't draft this, so I'm just reading to make sure that we can fit it without affecting the now therefore. Yeah, see, the now therefore be resolved approves the scheduling and authorizes an agreement. So
Okay,
we
we'll
would
just
have
do
to
it.
add it in the be it further resolved.
Okay, we can do it another day. I'm just, can someone,
It-
I don't know who drafted this, but
It just needs, it, because in the now therefore, what you're doing is you're authorizing an agreement with Wickers Creek.
Yep,
The
understood.
contract for which I drafted myself last year, so I hope it comes back to me in that format because I spent a couple hours on it. And then the Wickers Creek market shall be responsible to prepare and file so
Okay,
it
so
would have
this
to
all
be-
is it just specifically about us working with Wickers Creek? And
Yeah.
so it shouldn't have.
So
to
we
do with
we
downtown.
can add, Margaret, can we put that on for a resolution at the next board meeting?
Yes, or do we want to add it in with the shuttle rescue?
Yeah,
If it's connected with the shuttle.
And that might be a better place.
okay,
We
all
didn't-
right,
we
then
didn't
let's
get
vote
that.
on this first. All in favor? That's all.
Okay, so thank you. Let's.
All right, so is there a motion to schedule, nope, to authorize the use of the village shuttle bus for the 2026 Wickers Creek Market events at the Waterfront Park? Let's get this started. First, trustee Rothrock, second, deputy mayor Galen. Discussion.
I would like to propose that we add that we're waiving the sidewalk sale process for that day, as we have done on River Oaks Days and other things that I'm forgetting right now, where there's a shopping shuttle.
Yep.
Right.
Because it makes sense, if we're investing in the shopping shuttle, it makes sense to activate the downtown as much as possible.
Correct.
And one way to do that is to waive whatever that process is called.
So that could be done with a semicolon at the end of the therefore resolved that and the village way.
And be it further resolved that
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Can we do that now?
Can we approve it with that revision assumed by you?
that was your suggestion. We can do it and be it further resolved that the village waives
The village,
the
With-
fee associated with
with
the
sidewalk
sidewalk
sales
sales
for-
by downtown vendors.
Whatever language we used last year.
So we didn't last
We
year.
didn't last
That's
year.
why it's not in. But I'm just looking. at
whatever we
this.
used in River Arts or whenever it was last used, maybe not.
The sidewalk sale permit is $150 for the year.
Literally last year, whether I think it was for like the holiday trolley or it was for River Arts, or I don't remember which one, you created a mechanism by which we made it so that downtown businesses set up a sidewalk sale.
That's what we're talking about.
Yes, so whatever that language is, we're asking, can we request that that be added to this?
The
subsequent-
problem is that the businesses that have already applied for and received a sidewalk sale, annual sidewalk sale permit.
It's a different permit though. It's the 1 day, like pop-up thing. It's not the sidewalk sale. It's not the sidewalk cafe, sorry, because what
It's
we're
not
saying,
sidewalk cafe. We're talking about the sidewalk sale permit.
correct.
Margaret's calling it up on the screen.
I am looking in the
So there's a peddler permit, which
fee schedule and I don't see anything that's called sidewalks.
I think all we have done is we have previously removed the prohibition on conducting commerce on the sidewalks.
For village-sponsored events.
Correct.
Correct.
So we need to waive, now therefore, be it further resolved or whatever, that we will waive the prohibition on sales on the sidewalks in the downtown or whatever circumscribed area it is, so that businesses can, I don't know, I mean, you're the liaison to the downtown committee, but maybe like businesses in the downtown can sell things on the sidewalk as they have done at previous things exactly like this. So can we approve it with that understanding? I'm asking Lori Lee.
Yes.
Great. I move to do that.
I just have a question. If the resolution is specific to the Wickers Creek market dates,
Yes.
then adding, like, shouldn't the sidewalk thing be like a separate a resolution, because it's not,
Well, we're connecting it to the shuttle because the point of the shuttle is to connect Wickers Creek Market to the
No, it's,
downtown.
it is on the dates listed above.
It's
On
just
the-
those dates.
just
right
those
now.
oh, okay, I thought you meant like every,
Oh, no, 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 no.
every sidewalk's
Just
in the
those
year. I
dates.
was like,
I
oh
just
my
wanna
God.
make done with
Vend-
the Wickers
Okay.
Creek
Yes,
resolutions.
okay.
They'll be able to be vending their
Gotcha,
goods and
gotcha,
wares from the sidewalk.
Okay.
So you're waiving the prohibition against that for this village-sponsored event as
Correct.
permitted in the code.
Okay, so with those revisions, do we have a vote? All in favor?
Wait, should I
Okay.
recuse?
Hmm?
Should I recuse?
Should you recuse?
Should I recuse from that, Lori Lee?
Yes, please.
I'm recused.
All right, 6, with a recusal from trustee, deputy mayor. Chizo.
Do I have to not have made a motion? If I recuse from that?
Yes, I would advise if what you're doing is disclosing a
Swapping the motion to Laura Rothrock, trustee Laura Rothrock, for some reason I keep.
why don't you make a
Start
fresh
over?
motion?
All right.
and
Okay.
revise?
I will make a motion.
Scrap everything that's already happened.
Make a motion to consider.
I'd like
this
to make a motion
resolution
to
as
consider
revised.
this resolution as revised
Thank
during
you.
our discussion that just happened.
So moved.
First, so moved by trustee Rothrock. Second,
Yeah.
anyone? Trustee Rosenberg, all in favor? 6, abstained?
Wait.
Recused?
Recused, sorry. Recused.
Okay. All set. Thank you, everyone, for playing along. Is there a motion to schedule a public hearing on February 10th, 2026 to consider a local law which will prohibit left turns from Maple Street onto Broadway?
Can we be
Yeah, and
more
we're gonna
specific?
discuss-
We made some revisions to the
Hold
local
on, I'm
law.
just getting a motion to start talking about it. First, Deputy Mayor Galen, second, Trustee Rosenberg. All right.
So this is actually, we talked about this at our last workshop. This is not to prohibit left turns from Maple on Broadway at all times. This is to extend
Right.
the 7 AM to 9 AM prohibition and make it 7 AM to 6 PM.
So when we make the public hearing, we will revise the language in the shorthand as such to reflect that.
Yes, the local law has been redlined based upon trustee Patino's comments.
And Rosenberg, mostly.
Oh, Rosenberg's comments.
Tino's not listening.
It's late, it's late.
Okay, so yes, we will add that. So this is our local law, which is different from the next thing that we'll talk about, which is just about the street that is not
This is
ours.
just to set the public hearing.
And this is just about the public hearing.
I don't
All
think we voted, did we?
Nope, I'm about to do that. All in favor? 7-0. Next up, do I have a motion to forward notice to the state of New York of the ongoing safety concern and dangerous condition at the Broadway intersection with Maple Street?
This has also been, resolution's also been revised. You have it in front of you in red line.
Yes, I do,
Mayor Nell.
somewhere. There it is. I'm gonna still get that motion. First from trustee Gupta, second from trustee Rosenberg. And we are revising what is in the backup to also include additional language around it being a left turn restriction between 7 AM and 6 PM, Monday through Friday, in order to address school dismissal times, after school activities, and pedestrian safety. We will have the revision posted on the
Right now, it's just till,
internet. Yes, right now it's 7 to 9 AM only, which was not the original intention. And so we are going to be requesting the state to revise this. But it is the state's road, so it is not within our power to do it ourselves. So we're going to ask them to change it, which is the same problem we're trying to solve with the Maple to Broadway, which is our road. So any questions about what the revision is? We're just being more specific than what was in the backup. All in favor? Okay, so no. Do you like it when I say that, or does it make you laugh, Liz? You laugh every time.
I like it.
You like it? It's where it gets sporty in here. Is there a motion to announce issuance of RFQ to identify a professional services partner in connection with design of the proposed Gould Park Community Center? First, Deputy Mayor Galen, second, Trustee Patino. Discussion? Are you excited? We're going
Thrilled.
out.
Yes, very.
Bid or
It's
whatever.
taken a little while,
RFQ.
but we have the right components in place. Thanks to Valerie for
And
drafting
Lori
this
Lee,
document. I was gonna get there.
He's getting there.
She already had her face on.
Yeah, no, and thanks for the PLA. I think this is going to be a major change in how the business,
Yeah.
the village does business when it comes to capital projects. So I'm very happy that that is on its way. Yeah.
Yep,
the-
and it will certainly assist this professional services partner in terms of the level of oversight during construction at least. So you can get started on your scoping and
It'll get us closer to knowing what it'll cost.
there you go.
That
So
is the goal.
Valerie's not here, and there's a couple of vacant dates in this
Yes, that
RFQ.
has to be coordinated with the administrator and the clerk's office because we're going to do press releases, et cetera, et cetera. So we didn't put the dates in, but they'll be as quickly as practicable, and we'll get this disseminated and get the press releases out.
I know Valerie's not here, maybe you can't answer this question. Do you have an idea about when that would be? There are a number of candidates that I would like to notify that this is.
Sure. Well, we can, of course, upload this to the website, and her email, which came to all of us when she submitted back, she'd removed the comments like we've asked Kendra for a better photograph. We've asked for an aerial, up-to-date aerial. So that stuff will be plopped in here. But as soon as you vote this evening to get that done, then we can start to coordinate with Margaret and Robert and with Liz, and we can get this out as soon as
This is
it's
like a
out.
1 to 2 week turnaround from here.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
All in favor? 7-0.
We should call Nicole.
Let her know.
Yeah.
Mhm. Something's happening. All right, is there a motion to accept the retirement of Police Sergeant Vincenzo? I'm as bad as Vinny. Paola.
That's all right. I called Trustee Rosenberg, Trustee Patino.
Is it right? All right, is there a motion?
I hope neither of us was insulted by that.
Oh,
All right, Deputy Mayor Galen, second, Trustee Rothrock. All in favor? Unanimous, 7-0. We thank him for his service, and it was a wonderful walkout on Friday.
very excited.
And I am excited for his future in whatever he chooses to do.
Can we, though, request that all future resignations that require a walkout happen on warmer days?
We can. We'll do our best.
Okay, thank you.
And after I pick up my kids from the bus.
And after you pick up your kids from the bus.
It has to be at end.
We
of
will
shift.
do whatever it takes to get Trustee Nitin Gupta
There we go.
there for any other police sergeant
It
retirement.
has to be end of shift.
Yeah. All right. And finally, is there a motion to adopt our public meeting rules of procedures for the Village Board of Trustees? Motion, Trustee Gupta, second, Trustee Rosenberg. I'm discussing really fast because I do want to point out a couple of things to all of the people who care and are watching, and our many audience members who clearly we need to limit their time at public comment. Because those are the key points I just wanted to call out. We're going to have.
Not tonight. of course.
Not tonight. But the section about public comment, I just want to make sure that we have documented this and that it is clear to everybody that when you come to these meetings, if you have a topic in a comment that is the subject of a public hearing, you should be speaking during the public hearing versus the public comment section. And we are continuing the rule of limiting to 3 minutes for any speaker. And that people are limited to speaking one time during a session, and that we would not engage in back and forth with the individual members of the public. And we will try not to interrupt the speaker during their remarks. But that we are also working on some coffee with the trustees so that we can have more collaborative and engaging conversations with people. It's just generally not the forum here. This is more formal and for the record. And that's all. I just wanted to highlight those things. So all in favor? 7-0. Okay, any new business? I don't believe so. Anyone have anything? No? Okay. Liaison reports and announcements. I do want to move this to the workshop though, but I haven't done that yet. Trustee Gupta, do you have any updates from your liaison posts?
Oh, we did have kind of an extensive conversation at the
We
workshop
discussed
today, and
about
then
Project Mover.
yeah, unfortunately, our tree commission was postponed yesterday
Mhm,
because
yep.
of the snow. So yeah, nothing
That's
further
fine.
to report.
Okay, Rosenberg?
I met with both the CAB and Sustainable in the last couple of weeks. Sustainable
It's been busy.
elected its officers for the year. And the CAB has a lot of events coming up that I will inform you of, but that's all for
Okay.
now.
Deputy Mayor Galen?
Thank you to our mayor for appointing 3 new members of the Public Arts Committee today. The group is shaping up and hopefully we'll have our first meeting, I believe in February. I just want, I know this is not really an announcement, but thanks to the DPW and the police department and the fire department and everyone who worked so hard over the last few days because the snow situation is out of control. So thank you all. And
Thank you, Steve.
that was for you, Steve. And I also just
He's doing
want
a crossword.
I know that folks at home are-
New York Times crossing.
have been asking me questions about timing on things, and I just wanted to say, as I've shared with everyone who's asked about timing on snow removal, that it's around the clock effort right now, and that it's just gonna keep going
coming.
until everything is done. But it was a big one. So
Yeah, I mean, you guys did a great job. Yonkers wasn't even able to open their schools today. And a lot of other municipalities. So, you know, so proud of Dobbs and that we were able to open. So thank you guys.
Anybody who doubts that we have the best DPW should just leave Dobbs Ferry during a snowstorm in any direction.
Yeah. And it'll be very hard to get back if they do.
Trustee Rothrock, do you have any updates?
We had a meeting of the downtown committee last week. It fell on my birthday, so I only was able to attend the end of the meeting. But one of the things that we discussed was
Happy
about,
birthday.
thank you. One of the
Last
things,
week?
yeah,
Sorry, what's your birthday?
January 21st.
Oh, my mom's birthday.
But I brought that up because I had a good excuse to miss a large portion of the meeting. But the,
You don't need
Don't listen to him.
Mike says, don't bring it up. We don't need. Anyway, the, one of the things that I did bring up was, well, a number of items, but on how we had our discussion about moving some events from Saturdays. There was some feedback from the committee that, but residents like the events on the Saturday. And I was sort of like, yeah, it's great to have the residents come out. Of course, we need them to come out. But I think if the goal is to help support the businesses, that should be our primary goal. There was some thought about, Zane mentioned Halloween, which I know was a whole discussion, and then also Dine Out Dobbs. And there was some thought of, should we do a survey? And I was like, well, the survey may not give us the answer that we want, because we really should be surveying the businesses. You know, Halloween is, I think, a little bit different because the main goal of Halloween is not necessarily to patronize the businesses, but the main goal of Dine Out Dobbs is. And so we kind of discussed like if we need to help from that committee on or through the LDC as well. And the downtown advocate came to the committee meeting as well, which was helpful. You know, doing some more robust surveying of businesses.
Great. Thank you for encouraging them to understand that, because yeah,
Are
it's
any of the
great.
local, like, business owners part of that committee? Ah,
No.
okay, I guess that's my answer.
But it's like, it's the residents who are trying to help with the
Yeah.
businesses. And so, and that's ultimately what ends up
Mhm.
happening, is it's reflecting what residents want to do to help, which is always helpful, but why we are always encouraging them to
Yeah.
have more discussions with the businesses, which I know many of them do
Yeah.
as often as they can. So yeah, right? Trustee Patino?
Nothing to report.
Okay.
It was his
Um,
birthday too.
Aw.
Was it?
The Affordable Housing Task Force canceled their meeting.
Good
And
update.
the planning board just continues to do its regular business.
Any big projects that they are looking at?
I can't remember.
Okay, great. What are my posts? All right, great. Volunteer ambulance corps. We have some applications for that board
Yeah.
position. The nominating committee is going to be, oh, I can't forget Donna. She's got
Donna.
posts. The nominating committee, who Donna can speak to, is going to interview them first. I'm going to try and attend the meeting so that I can also meet them there. And then we will forward on and have the top candidates meet with the people from the VAC. And then we can all decide together who we want to appoint. But it's moving right along, so that's great. Trustee Asuma, do you have reports from home?
Yes, well, we have about 7 applications for the VAC, but they seem to be all interested in fundraising, not so much being, you know, part of the ambulance corps activity. So we'll have to sort through that a little bit. But Jason now is the new chair of the nominating committee. We're talking about working with the town, working with the village on making our website a little bit more dynamic for the nominating committee, where we have descriptions when they're meeting, you know, just revising it to be more dynamic, making the application process a little bit smoother and maybe turnkey. So, and we'll talk with Liz and Margaret and whoever else on developing that. So that was really great. And we're trying to get more members as far as in each election district. And that's that. This coming weekend is the library mini golf. So it's all weekend long, different events. So at the library, so that'll be great if we could support them. And the senior meeting was canceled on Friday. It's now in February. And the beautification committee did not meet yet, nor did the waterfront until, you know, spring comes to be Friends of the Waterfront. So that is it right now.
Great. And there has been motion on the Youth Services Council, right? Trustee Gupta. I think we'll have to put it on a upcoming workshop to talk through, because there's code related to it. But there's some interesting ideas for how we could potentially change how it works and, you know, make it more effective and useful nowadays. That's it. All right. Anybody want to adjourn?
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, announce
Yeah.
that the lot will be closed tomorrow.
oh, yes. Okay. Hold on. Let me pull that up.
And also, can we announce the pickup schedule for the rest of the week if it's,
For garbage?
yeah, different?
It's
Is it
normal.
different?
It's normal now.
Totally normal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. It was just you picked up garbage today,
Okay,
right?
thank you.
I'm unable.
I had a bunch of questions, but that's-
Yeah, I know. I'm like, my block is texting me as we sit here. And I told them it's all the normal. All right. The parking lot. for everyone listening. We are going to close the Oak Street lot behind Village Hall and behind Village Hall tomorrow, Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. They're going to clear the snow there. The vehicles left in those spots will be towed. Oak Street and Village Hall permit holders may park in the Cedar Street lot during that time. And then on Thursday, the Cedar Street lot at 99 Cedar will be closed from 8 to 12 in the morning for snow clearing. Those cars that are left there are subject to being towed during that time. And then the Cedar Street permit holders may park in the Oak Street lot or Village Hall lot during that time. Thank you for your cooperation as we continue our snow removal efforts. Thank you, Steve, for the reminder. Is there a motion to adjourn? Trustee Rosenberg, second. Deputy Mayor Galen, all in favor? 7-0.